Okay then, so I guess we're doing some external hacking. So this is our first tutorial pretty much. So at the time obviously of doing this is my first one, and I'm going to leave the DLL for a few days from now. We've got our offsets, alright, we've got our addresses, we've got everything we need to make our hack. Something you might have noticed earlier actually is that these addresses are exactly the same. And what this says is that the health of the player and the ammo on the player's weapon is very close to they're very close to each other in memory. They're simply offset to different positions, so they're very close to each other in memory. Alright, so let's just make sure we're very close on that. So what we're going to start by doing is actually, I'm going to get rid of this because I don't want to keep my code up, so I'm just going to close that. And something you'll get when you start SoulCube and you close it, you always get this stupid prompt window. I don't know why you want this, but they give you it anyway. So let's go select, I've got 2008 2010. Most of my subscribers, I'm sure you've got Dark GDK anyway, so there's 2008 for you. Either way, either one is good. So go File, New, Project, and we're going to go for Win32 console application, alright? And mine, I'm going to call mine, I've got a folder called Hacking Projects. I'm going to call mine YT, as in YouTube. Just go like that, YouTube, oh crap, YouTube, console trainer tutorial. You can just call yours console trainer. I want to click OK to that. We don't want to click finish straight away. I want to click next, and we're going to click console application, and we're going to start with an empty project. Now I think this is a good practice because you don't rely on the basic default header files and stuff that Windows gives you, and this way you know everything that you're putting into the program and you know everything you're playing with. So we're going to click finish. So as you can see, it's given us nothing. So click your Solution Explorer if you don't have it. Click this arrow. So you've got nothing, you've got no file. So we're going to click here, add new item. I start getting a bit freaked up voice. Excuse me, after a while. So you want to click CPP file. It's going to be C++ file, and we're going to call it main.c++, pretty much. So add, and there's our file. So what we're going to start by doing here is we're going to start by doing a couple of includes. So let me just scroll down to my notes, make sure I've got this so you guys don't miss anything out. Yeah, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to go include, so hash include, open there. I don't know if 2008 has this, but first thing we're going to do is IOStream. Now IOStream is useful because we can use what's wrong with that? Alright, because we can use things like cout, cin to output. If you haven't used C++ before, this might be a little bit confusing, but I'll explain as we go along. You'll be fine at the end of it, I guarantee you that. And we go for windows.h because we want to use handles and everything Windows based. And then we want to go include string, just string, not string.h, because we want to use the string variable type. So if you've used C#, these come by default, they don't for C++. You have to use chars all the time, and no one wants to do that. Next one is ctime. Now ctime is for our clock. We're going to use this to only write to memory every X milliseconds. So we don't do it on every loop because we're going to have a main loop. We don't do it on every loop because it's really CPU performance hitting, and you don't want to have something like that because we don't have to have that. And now the next thing to do is going to declare our globals. This is a little bit of work, but you know that in about a few minutes this application will be done. It's not anything as difficult as my previous things have been. So we want to start off by doing STD, not as in sexual transmitted disease. It's STD, I'm not actually sure what it's for. I know a lot of you have probably done this before, using namespace STD, and the reason why we're not doing that is because the compiler sometimes gets confused. So we're doing this STD like that, and we're going to go for, so it's shift and the colon symbol there, and we're going to go string game name equals a SoulCube. Now the reason why we're doing this type of stuff is so that we can adapt this, so you guys can adapt this to whatever game you're using. Now obviously mine's the SoulCube, and I'm hoping you guys follow the exact thing I'm doing, and then once you got it working, follow your change your stuff to what you want. Now something I forgot to mention once you do finish your hacks and stuff, if you do it for any other game other than Assault Cube, then if you like, send me a copy and stuff, because I've had some people do that to me in the past, and I find it quite interesting. I like testing other people's trainers out, and I like knowing that people have actually attempted this and come out and learned some stuff out of it. And I was sent this a couple of times before, and I think it's quite cool. So if you complete this properly and you adapt it to another game, then feel free to send me the solution. Not the actual solution, but you can send me the exe. Some people send a solution, it doesn't really matter, because it will be similar. Send me the exe, I'll test it out for you. You know, I'm happy doing that. I'll probably download the game that you're using to test it out. But anyways, our next thing to do is we're going to declare LP. Make sure you do this in capitals, CSTR. Now LP is this is something a bit confusing, but it's a bit of a, as it says here, it's a pointer. I think it's a pointer string, and the reason why we're doing this is so we can put this into one of our functions. So it's a char string kind of thing. I'm not actually sure what this is. Like I said to you guys, I've only been doing C++ for I don't know, what is it, like 4 or 5 weeks, and I mean, I've written a ton of C# before in C, so it's not like something brand new, but it can be confusing. So our game window is Assault Cube. Alright, and the reason why we're doing this is because certain games will have different window names than the game name, so make sure you have both of these. This is an exception, I guess. So std, once again that, and you should get both things coming up. I'm going to go game, oops, my bad, string, and we're going to go game status. Now this is to find out if the game is on or off, so as the user loaded the game, if not, tell them to go F themselves, and we're not running any hack if it's not on. We do that to avoid crashes and that kind of stuff. So boolean is game avail. Just do that. Avail. Oops. Avail. There you go. Do that. And then we'll go once again boolean update ammo on next run. Now we use this because we only want to update the menu, because this is a console menu. You want to update every X seconds or every time a change has been made. So every time a change has been made, we set this as true, and the next time it loops, it updates the menu. So if you pressed F1, we're going to change the status of the menu to true. So yes, he's been doing that. Oops, scroll down the wrong page. Okay, just went to get a quick drink. So where were we? So bull. Don't want my voice dying on you guys halfway through. What we're going to do now is we're going to write our ammo variables, and here we go. Let's just do this. Write ammo vars, so we know what we're writing here. So even though it'll be obvious, so bool. You want to go ammo status, meaning as the user turned unlimited ammo on or not. Byte ammo value. Now you probably haven't dealt with a byte before if you're a C# guy like me, and bytes are basically 4 bytes make an integer. So what's going on with that? Byte ammo value. Oh, I see. So basically we have to declare what's inside that byte. Now just follow me on this, and later on if you want to change this, up to you. So we're going to go for 0 times, and they're written in hexadecimal as well, 0 times A3 comma. So what we're doing is we're telling the array what size the byte array, we're telling ammo value what size the byte array is by putting the value straight away in, because we're not really modifying them, so it doesn't matter. So we have to do 0 times, I forgot to tell you guys this, 0 times is telling the, well, basically telling the compiler that this is a hexadecimal file. Alright, so we're telling the program this is a hexadecimal file value. So times XC, and then we want to go 0 times 0 times 0, and once again 0 times 0, and that's it for that one. So that's how much we're writing onto the ammo stash. So if you put a very high number here, you get a lot of ammo. Do not put any other number than I've got, or you will crash your program, 100% guaranteed. You'll see in the end. So dword, now dword, this is a beast of a variable, and it gets used a lot in C++. Now I've used it a fair bit, but I'm not too experienced with it. Basically what this seems to do is it seems to take big values, and it's kind of a replacement for, I don't know, it's like a replacement for strings sometimes, and other times it's just weird. From what I think I know is that D word. Feel free to explain this in the comments, guys, because I'm not too experienced in C++ yet. But basically, D word, I think that's like equal to sorry, it's hard to explain, but I think if you were to compare it, I think it's like the size equal to 4 or 8 integers or something like that. So it can hold a massive value, and it can hold hexadecimal values, which is quite good as well. So so we can go D word, and you'll see that most of our program we use that. So D word, don't worry too much about it. Our base address equals. So once again, we're just filling in our array, our base address, and that will be 0 times. Now we go back into our thingy now, and we want to go for this. This is why we're using this for. So you want to put that in there, 0 times, and then your value. All right, we're going to do that. And D word. Sorry, did I say array a minute ago? I'm being an idiot. I was thinking about the early one. Yeah, we just want to stash this value inside. Do not forget the 0 times, or it will not work. Guarantee you that. And then we want to do our D word, right? D word, all in capitals, ammo, offsets. Now I'm going to try and stay as aware as I can. It is a little bit late, if you can tell by my time, because I know if I make stupid mistakes, as I do sometimes, I will have to go back and fix them, and that's trouble for you guys, which I don't want. So once again, and we're given only these guys holding values because they don't change. So we know that for a fact. And now this is where our offsets come in. So if you look here now, our offsets, we want to send 378, then we want to send 0 times 14, and last one is 0 times 0. Now I'm not 100% sure this is necessary, last one, but I think it is. So try not to forget it, please. And then we've got our ammo ones. So I'm just going to confirm them all to make sure you guys aren't doing this wrong. Bool ammo status, byte ammo value, 0 times A3, 0 times 1C, 0 times 0, 0 times 0, and then the value we copied that, which is fine. So 4DS73C, yep, that's perfect. 78, 378, 14. So just copy these once again, and you guessed it, this one will be our health variables. Alright, and just change wherever it says. So I know that can be a bit lazy, guys, but I apologize for that. That's just how I do it. So just change all those there, and we got to change some values here. Make sure we don't get these wrong. Now this is no longer 3 levels in, this is only 1 level. Now let's check this out. It's F4 here, so get your F4, 0 times, so don't copy the whole thing, 0 times F4, and our address is the exact same thing. If you go look, just gotta do that to make sure, but I'm pretty sure it's the exact same thing. Yeah, it is. Like I said to you earlier, they're just slightly differently positioned in memory, but their base address is the same. This is what it is. It's the static address, which is what we play with. Now here we change the values a tiny bit. Now we go, so here is 0 times 39, and there's a reason for this, guys, as you probably saw in my example. Did I put a big X there? I don't know if it makes a difference, actually. I don't think it does, but I like the small X, I guess. The second value is 0 times 5, so 0 times 5, 0 times 0, 5 doesn't matter, and the last two are all 0, so 39 is 0 times 5, and that's that done. Now what you might notice, let me just think about this. Yeah, something you got to make sure you have, guys. Now just remembered, you might have an error here. Now if you have an error, you're probably wondering, what is this bastard telling me? This is wrong. Now if you have to put an L here, it means if your error goes away and you put an L there, it means you haven't got something going. So go on, right click here. This is just the way I think the solution is by default. So right click on properties, and as you can see here, character set, mine says use Unicode character set, and you'll see later on we'll have errors if we don't do this. So make sure you say use multi-byte character set. Alright, so if you don't want to change it, don't change that yet, but later on you'll have error when you're messing with strings. I'll let you know when the error comes if I remember. So apply that. So make sure we're okay. So I'm just going to do a quick build, F6, to make sure we're okay. Apparently, oh yeah, because we didn't write our main yet, that's fine, there's nothing wrong with that. So we declared a few variables, now we're going to write our main. So in C++, this might be a little bit difficult to understand if you just read it out now, but in C++, the function or the program always starts with main. So we'll go right int main, right, and you see that error we had, it should be gone now hopefully. So let's press F6, and as you can see, build succeeded. That error is gone now, which is great. So whatever we write